Thousands of people signed a petition saying they did not want Joliet to approve the construction of a nearly 800-acre data center, which would roughly be the size of New York City Central Park. Hundreds of people spoke out in protest through emails, phone calls, and public comments at city council meetings. In fact, one city council meeting lasted nearly 7.5 hours, concluding at almost 1 a.m. because there were so many public comments said in protest of this data center. Regardless of that, Joliet City Council and Mayor voted to approve the construction of this data center 7-1. On the day Joliet City Council approved the construction of this data center, various residents spoke out against it again, many of whom had to be escorted out and away from the podium by Joliet's police department. The question remains, though, why would the city council vote to approve the construction of something when they see that so many residents, voting residents, adamantly are against it? The answer is quite simple, y'all. They don't care because they don't think you're actually gonna vote. They see the emotion, they see the outcry, but they don't normally see that translate to mass groups of people voting in opposition to them. In fact, in the last mayoral election, nearly 15,000 Joliet residents voted. There are about 150,000 people here. If you adjusted for the overall amount of people who are registered to vote in Will County, you could estimate that between 90 and 100,000 people are registered, but only about 15,000 voted for the mayor. That 15,000, roughly, not even fully 15,000, made a decision that would impact the 100% of people, all people. More specifically, y'all, in some of these local elections, the voter turnout in Will County has been 10%, 15, 20%, which is absolutely abysmal. So they hear you, but they don't think you care enough to vote. In addition to that, they don't think you're gonna run a candidate that could actually defeat them. They don't think that all of those public comments and emails would translate to you having enough courage to actually run for office. Here's the thing too, if you look at some of these local elections, it only took in some cases 1,000, 1,500. In some cases, it was in the hundreds of votes that was needed to win. Some of these local elections in these districts were decided by less than 100 votes. Many of these elections are decided by local churches coming together, local unions coming together. As someone who was a regular commenter at Joliet City Council meetings, as someone who ran on a last-minute write-in campaign one time, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that they don't care nothing about your emails. They don't care anything about your public comments. All they care about is this going to translate to me losing my job? And until we can guarantee that in local elections, state elections, federal elections, we'll continue to get the same results. This is bigger than voting though, y'all. What I mean is, by actively participating in local elections, what you're also doing is deciding to build community with folks and organize with folks. And what you're doing in that process is building people power. We need a lot more than votes to change our society for the better. We need persistent and consistent agitation. We need people to come together and build and create things outside of this so that we are not always dependent upon them. And we want to have so much people power, in fact, that they have no choice but to bend to our will when we make a demand. So yeah, y'all, they voted for this data center. And it's truthfully because they hear you, they see the tears, but they don't care because they don't think you care enough to do something beyond that.